What's up, guys? I'm here with
Rebecca.
Rebecca. Nice to meet you.
Hi.
You having a good PAX?
Yes, it's so much fun.
Awesome. So I gotta ask, what's your favorite video game? I know it's tough, but if you had to choose just one for today, what's your favorite video game?
It has to be The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. It was my first ever video game when I was 3, and my all-time favorite. Nothing comes close.
So, in comparison to Ocarina of Time, because that's like the universal, it's always Link to the Past or Ocarina of Time. Do you think Link to the Past is a good amount better than Ocarina?
It is really close. Ocarina of Time feels like a 3D version of A Link to the Past in a lot of ways, but I think A Link to the Past just does it better.
A Link to the Past, I think, is like the classic Zelda. Even though there's Zeldas before it, I think that was the first one that really put Zelda on the map.
It did, and it really set, the stage for a lot of the conventions of Zelda and a lot of the mechanics that have stayed with the series forever.
Absolutely. So, thanks, Rebecca, right?
Rebecca, yes, for
awesome. Link to the Past from Rebecca.
Thank you.
Thank you. Gotta ask you, I'm pretty sure I know already.
Yeah.
What's your favorite video game?
It's actually Final Fantasy X.
Final Fantasy X.
Yeah.
That one, that was like the last true Final Fantasy, I feel like.
It's like the first PS2. Yeah, it's the last of like the OGs. It's kind of like, I don't know. Yeah, I would say that, I guess. Because it's the last like turn-based.
Yeah.
It hasn't been turn-based for a while.
Did you like 12? I gotta ask.
No.
Yeah. 12.
I can straight up tell you, no, I did not like 12.
No, that's fair. I feel like 12, it has some hardcore fans, but the general consensus is that it's not like that great.
The problem with 12 is like, I got to a specific point and the gambits, I couldn't get into the gambits. I couldn't, like, my friend got into that game so hard that the characters would move themselves and she would just put her controller down and the game would play its own. And I'm like, how the hell do you do that? I'm sorry, I'm not smart enough for that.
No, I understand. I gotta ask, and like, so I'll be honest, I'm a huge fan of it, but
yeah.
And I understand the hate, but did you like Final Fantasy 13?
13, yes. Okay. Yeah, I actually did. I enjoyed 13. No, I like Lightning Story. I played 13.1, 13.2, and 13.3. So awesome.
Which one did you like the best of those three? The first one, right?
I really liked 2.
Interesting.
Because I liked it's not
on it.
Yeah, it's the time traveling aspect of it, and just like the continuity of you going into one place and then it changing like 500 years later, and something you did in that time 500 years ago affected what you did 500 years in the future was kind of cool. It was like the thought about it. I do love 13.1 though. Like just 13 in general was a good game.
That was for me. That was like, I wouldn't say my first Final Fantasy, but I played them later. Yeah. So my brother was into Final Fantasy 7, 8, and 9, and he loved them. And 13 was coming out, and that was the first one, because I was late to the Final Fantasy game. Okay. So when 13 trailer came out, there was something about it where I was like, I feel Final Fantasy 13. Like, I feel like this is my Final Fantasy. So I actually ended up playing 7 first, which, I mean
7's great.
There's nothing bad you can say about
great.
7.
No.
But I love 13.
Like, I've been playing the remake.
How is the remake?
It's so good.
That's
it's
what
so good.
hear.
Like, as a 7 fan, I played the original. It's still, it hits.
Fantastic.
Like, it's so good.
Awesome.
It's so good. And it's got stuff for new players because it's kind of a new story. So it's the same story with a bit of nuance to it.
Would you say, I don't know if you're into these, but I think, in my opinion, just out of all the games I played, the perfect remake to me is the original remake of Resident Evil on GameCube. Is it? Have you played that?
Yeah, I have played that.
Is it comparable so the reason that I think Resident Evil 1 remake was so good is it didn't take away from the original. It's still a mansion.
So you had like the whole like shark boss and everything. Yeah.
Is that how the Final Fantasy 7 remake is? It's still core, but it added stuff without like kind of diminishing the original ness of it?
Yes, but it also wears like, one didn't change the story really. This kind of goes in a different way. So like
is the Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth remake, is it a different story kinda?
Kinda.
Interesting.
It is. I don't want to spoil it. Okay. So, but it kind of is. Remake, not so much. Rebirth, yes.
Awesome. So overall, your favorite game of all time is Final Fantasy X.
10 always has been. I've played it probably through 20 times.
Awesome. You heard it from Kundi Media. Yeah. This is Final Fantasy X favorite game. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, no problem. That was great.
Oh, yeah. We're here with
Slappy.
Slappy. What's up, Slappy? How's your PAX going?
Oh, it's great. This is the second year I'm going, and it's just as fun as the first one, man.
It's very magical.
It is. It's super enjoyable. It's great atmosphere, great people.
Hell yeah. So I gotta ask, of all time, what's your favorite game?
I would probably have to say the game that got me into gaming when I was 5, Super Mario World for Super Nintendo.
That is also the game that got me into gaming. So
Nice.
Super Mario World is insane. Have you seen the Kaizo hack things that they do?
I get told by people multiple times in my streams that I need to do them because I play it all the time on streams, and they're like, you gotta play the Kaizo hacks, they're so fun. So it's something I'm definitely gonna try out. They are nuts.
They're insane. I tried the first Kaizo World for Super Mario World, and I'm like good at like Super Mario World, but that doesn't mean you're good. Like that doesn't mean you're gonna be good at the Kaizo.
Oh yeah, it's a night and day difference. Like I can play Super Mario World pretty much like give someone a strategy how to like conquer every 99 like.
You thought you were good back in the day when you caped over levels and you weren't, you did some maneuvers. You thought you were good, and then you see the Kaizo hacks come in like 4 or 5 years ago, and you're just like, what's happening?
Yeah, those people just like they don't sleep. Those people have no idea what sleep are. They just like they're like coffee, energy drink, and they just go. It's nuts.
Coffee, energy drink, and some of them do Adderall all night.
I mean, it's a cheat code, but it probably works.
It is a cheat code. So I tried one I think it was just the original Super Kaizo World, the first one. I tried it. I played it for 2 hours. I made the second jump, and that's it.
You have to have
It was insane.
unbelievable timing, and it's just really repetition. Like repetition is key. Just you have to like know the absurd physics, when to bounce, when to jump, when to like spiral. It's like, dude, it's a little overwhelming, but repetition is key, like I said.
I love the Kaizo hacks, but from what I've tried of it, I think I'm going to be a viewer as opposed to a player.
As of now, I've been a viewer, but because I love Super Mario World so much, I do like have like the interest in doing it, especially since playing like Mario Maker and like making my own levels. I'm like,
Yes.
oh. Like,
Yeah, Mario Maker really brought that kind of community together of customizing your own levels. I've been meaning to talk to the guys in the scene. I really hope that they do like an intermediate, because I've played the easiest Kaizo level, and it's still like insanely hard if you're not like on the game 6 hours a day type of thing.
Oh yeah, and like you just said, like the Mario Maker games were kind of like almost a catalyst to like put that on the forefront for a lot of people. It's like, oh, these are interesting, and it's like auto scrollers and stuff where you just move forward, you don't touch anything, and boom, you just get to the end. It's pretty fun though.
It's a wild place in the Super Mario World community.
Yeah, it's something that's blown up, and it's almost like taken a whole like side in itself in the streaming world.
It's funny because like I didn't see it coming, but at the same time, when you played Super Mario World back in the day and you got really good at just the regular levels, you kind of saw potential for a future game, but there was never another Super Mario World game. So the fans just kind of like made their own hardcore Kaizo Super Mario World.
Yeah, I mean, there was the one on like Game Boy, but that was just very different. And
I love that one. I played that in high school. They did the Luigi that had like the different physics than Mario. He was slower, but his jump had like a
glide a little bit. I thought that was really cool.
That was super cool.
But like, if you remember the special levels in Super Mario World, that was almost like
hardcore.
That was like a morsel of like what was to come for the Kaizo.
I remember playing Outrageous, and I remember one of the speedrunners saying, "Oh, this is outrageous. In a casual run, this is one of the hardest." And I was like, "Yeah, that one. I believe it's the second or third one in, and it was just like that one threw me for a loop every time. Every time I got the special world."
I remember the second world of the special was like tubular, and it was like
tubular, and then I think third was outrageous. Or something.
Yeah, and like you had to like hit the P, and you had to like float the whole time into the end. I just remember like hating that level when I was a kid, and it wasn't until
brutal.
It wasn't until I was an adult I was like, all right, I got this.
Same here, man. So I'm actually, when you said that, when you were like, my first game that got me into gaming, before you even said that, I was like, well, my first game was Super Mario World. So we relate on that. Yeah. Super Mario World for the SNES or the Game Boy Advance.
It was the bundle that had the 2 controllers and everything. Oh, that was it. Set the tone. I was like 4.5 years old. I was like, let's go. That's it.
That was, in my opinion, the original OG video game. Like, obviously, there was NES and Atari, but Super Mario World, I think, was the one that really put it on the map for the next level.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Like, it's still, like I said, it's my favorite game. If I was stuck on an island and I could only play one game forever, it would be that.
I agree. Super Mario World for SNES. Thanks, Slappy, for coming out, man. Have a good PAX.
Thank you. Have a good one, man.
We're with
Josh Jepson.
Josh Jepson, nice to meet you. You having a good PAX?
I'm having a great PAX.
Awesome. Always a good time. It's a tough question, but what is your favorite video game if you had to choose just one?
It's not that tough.
Not that tough.
I'm wearing the shirt. It's Banjo-Kazooie. All day, every day. Banjo-Kazooie and the N64. Yeah, all-time favorite.
Classic platformer, Banjo-Kazooie. So you must have been a Crash Bandicoot fan as well?
So I didn't have a PS1.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't have a PS1. I was an N64 kid, GameCube. I had a PS2, so I played Jak and Daxter. I played Ratchet and Clank. I played
the classic platformers.
So it did take me a long time to get into Crash Bandicoot, but once I did, yeah, I'm in it. Yeah.
Awesome.
I love Crash.
That's one of the genres I feel like needs to make a comeback. Is true like 3D platformers.
Yeah, there's been a lot of stuff from indie developers lately that have been like really hitting the spot. So.
Did you see the Rugrats game over there?
I did not. Is that a 3D platformer?
It's a 2D platformer, but it's like modern day. It's at they're demoing it at the limited run booth.
Oh yeah, okay. We were hovering around the limited run booth earlier. Maybe
the Rugrats 3D platform or 2D platform is going to be amazing.
Yeah.
But I think 3D platformers in general should make a comeback.
Just Switch Online.
Banjo-Kazooie, you heard it.
I have been trying to recommend people play Banjo forever, and it's like if you're a Nintendo focused person, it's been hard for a long time given their move to Xbox. So now that it's on the Nintendo Switch Online, go play it.
Hell yeah. Banjo-Kazooie, I'm not going to lie, because you said that, I'm going to actually play through it. I played through it a little bit back in the day, and I liked it, but it was just one of those games I never finished, so.
Yeah. I like jumping and collecting stuff.
Yeah, don't we all? All right, thanks, brother. Have a good PAX, Ben. This is Jess from Kunde Media, and we're back at it with favorite game. I thought the other Kunde Media was going to be Final Fantasy VII, so what's your favorite game? If you had to choose one, obviously we all have a lot, but what's your favorite video game if you had to choose one?
So, Final Fantasy franchise in general, c'est magnifique, and yes, you have to like toot on 7, but
Seven's amazing.
I would normally say Final Fantasy X is my favorite for the story. However, this year my favorite game is changing. I'm going with Baldur's Gate 3.
Baldur's Gate 3.
Baldur's Gate 3 is something for everyone. It is so spicy, so amazing. I love it, and especially for tabletop Dungeons & Dragons players, you're now going to the PC, and it's just gorgeous.
How would you compare it? Like, they're not exactly the same, but I feel like Baldur's Gate 3 is in the running for, like, best game of the year, best game of all time, within the 10. You know when there's, like, a game of the year or, like, a best game of all time? I feel like it's in the running. How would you compare it to games like, now, obviously, they're not the same, but, like, games, like, best games of all time, like Ocarina of Time or Skyrim. Yeah. Do you think it's up to that caliber?
I do think it's up to that caliber. I think that they have not found all the endings or all the content to Baldur's Gate 3. Like the fans playing it, the fact that I don't even know if I'm going to stumble on something brand new that the rest of the world hasn't seen yet. I mean, come on. Like, I wish I could film my entire experience. Yeah. But you get to romance so many different characters. The maps are visually friggin' stunning. The story can go so many different ways that, like, some days you're raging and some days you're going to cry. Like, it's that good.
I love that, and that's what I used to like about old school games is I feel like Baldur's Gate 3 is in the running for that style too, but a lot of new games, they don't have as many secrets.
Ooh, yeah. Mm.
You know, like old school games, there were so many secrets. One of my favorite games of all time was Wario Land 2. Did you guys ever play that one?
I did not.
So it's a side scroller, but there was, every level had like 5 to 10 secrets.
Yeah. No,
and I like that Baldur's Gate 3 has like a lot of secrets and a lot of like uniqueness to your gameplay.
100%. I mean, I loved, like, even for the Final Fantasy ones, like, you knew how to get, like, certain weapons. Like, you had to know the secrets. You had to get those Easter eggs. And I love trying to stumble on something. But at the end of the day, yeah, I think this game has a lot of that nobody really knows about. So you can't go online and be like, oh, how do I get this? Like, you gotta friggin' find out. So cool.
And there might not even be a video on it yet because there's so much content.
Yeah, it's so much content. It's very new. But yeah, also the gameplay is really cool. So you're still rolling dice like you would for a tabletop type of game. So not only like you can map out the battle system as best as you want, like you know your combos, you can go to your own class and race that you would normally play in like any other game. Shout out to the Druid Tieflings out there. But you're still rolling, so like you can like be a bard and be like, oh, I'm gonna talk my way out of this, but then roll a 1, and it's gonna be the most embarrassing thing you've done all game. Like, heck yeah.
And it'll totally change the game.
Yep, it will.
Awesome. So this is Jess from Kunde Media. Thanks. You heard it. Baldur's Gate 3.
Absolutely.
Check it out if you haven't already.
Bye, guys.
I am here with
Cass.
Cass. I gotta ask. We're at PAX. You having a good PAX?
Yeah, so far.
Awesome. PAX is always a good time. What's your favorite video game? Let's get down to it. What's your favorite video game? If you had to choose one.
Easily, Xenoblade Chronicles.
Xenoblade Chronicles.
Don't know which one.
Awesome. You what?
Don't know which one, but one of them.
All right. So there's 3, right?
4.
There's 4?
There's 4. 1, 2, 3, and X.
1, 2, 3. Oh, is X the one? Is that on the Wii or the Wii U?
It's the one abandoned on the Wii U.
That's why I didn't realize.
They need to re-release it because I think that one probably is my favorite, Xenoblade X.
Okay, can you narrow it down to maybe 2 of the Xenoblades?
Ooh, Xenoblade 3 or Xenoblade X?
Xenoblade 3 or Xenoblade X. Awesome. Now, I don't know this, but is that related to Xenogears on PS1? I'm new to the series.
To be determined, actually.
To be determined?
Yeah, some of the DLC for 3 kind of teased at some Xenosaga, Xenogears stuff. So
Very interesting.
Yeah.
So I have Xenosaga 2 and 3 sealed at my house.
Wow.
And I've never actually played them. But it's one of those things that I picked up like you like when you see an anime, the cover of it, you're like, ooh, I like that. It was one of those things, and I never ended up playing it. And I guess they're worth money. I don't know if I should open it. I'd probably just get a disc-only copy and play it.
I just picked up a copy of Xenogears for 150, like here.
Was it minty?
I don't think it was. No, it wasn't minted, but I actually have it in my bag.
It was dope. Yeah, sure. Yeah, let's see it. Xenogears is one of. So I have a back from back in the day that I've been meaning to play a bunch of games, and Xenogears is one that I've been wanting to play. Ooh, that's nice though.
Lead in box.
Oh yeah, gotta go CIB. You know. That's not bad. That's a nice sturdy case. That's not bad. Yeah, it's not bad at all.
Yeah, I was very happy.
Oh yeah. We're here with Chris, aka Spoobini. What's up, Chris?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How's your PAX going?
So far, so good.
It's always a good vibe at PAX. So we gotta ask you, what is your favorite video game? What's your favorite video game?
So what I always have to fall back on is a game that was released in 2016 called Fury. It's spelled
Fury?
Yeah, it's spelled F-U-R-I, so a little different, but yeah.
Fury 2016? Yep. And what is that a Steam game?
So yeah, I played it on Steam. Basically, the game's it only has 10 fights, but it's a bullet hell mixed with a melee hack and slash with like counter mechanics. It's mostly take place overhead, like twin stick shooter style.
So it's like kind of like a twin stick shoot 'em up type of thing?
Yeah, so like each fight is split into like 2 sections. Well, each fight actually has like 6 to 4 sections for each boss. But then in addition to that, each of those sections, it has 2 subsections of a ranged part and a melee part. So
interesting. Is that now, are those arranged with the melee part? Is that for specifically that boss, or are there mini bosses?
So it's only just the one boss. It's always one-on-one.
Oh, okay.
So
it sounds pretty cool. I've never played it.
So the other big sell on it is the story.
Oh, it's got a good story too?
I absolutely love the story.
Awesome.
We have a nameless protagonist and an unreliable narrator. And
fantastic.
From the get-go. And everyone's intentions are very unclear until the very end. And things get a little twisted on its head.
And so, needless to say, it has a good twist in it?
I'd like to say so.
Awesome. I love a game with a twist. So, Fury 2016 on Steam?
Yep. And, of course, the other thing that needs to be hit on is the soundtrack.
Good soundtrack?
Incredible soundtrack. Probably heard some of it before in like backgrounds of other YouTube videos.
Is this the one you were telling me that was synthwave?
Yeah, well, I don't know if it's exactly synthwave, but okay. I mean, it's really impactful, especially for like the moments of like it plays really beat for beat for each of the fights that you're in.
So it feels very coordinated with what's going on in the game.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it like enhances the impact of everything that you're seeing visually.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Chris, for coming out. Check out Fury 2016. And have a good PAX, brother.
All right, thank you.
Gotcha. Okay, so we're leaving PAX. It's about midnight. Almost. It's like 11 p.m. And we did some classic gaming, console gaming. Check this out. They get their own console rooms. I just found out there was a Halo 3 tournament. It's going on right now. I missed it by like 45 minutes, which sucks. Because I would have obviously spanked the living hell out of those kids in that game. So, that sucks. But, overall success. Oh, what do we got over here? Ooh, some nice fighters. Shit. Oh, is that Tekken 8? Let's go. Awesome. Fantastic. PAX is always fun, but it gets weaker every year, which is kind of depressing because I used to love PAX and now I just go because I feel like I have to go. And it's more expensive than ever. I get the exhibitor pass this year, so I didn't pay, but still, if I paid $250 for 4 days, I would have been pretty pissed, to be honest, because they have less vendors than ever, less big game developers, less booths, less everything. It's seen better days. I think PAX is getting progressively worse, and I'm not trying to be a hater. I've been coming since like '09, and it doesn't seem to. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be it. I remember walking these halls with my buddy Zach, who I met. Literally, I met him from Halo, and he just happened to be going to college in Northeastern, and yeah, it's not the same. The vendors aren't as big. It's not as many good game developers there, so I don't know. It's not what it used to be, for sure. But it's still fun. But $250 for 4 days, I would recommend spending that money somewhere else. If you're paying, if you're getting it for free, cool. But $250, no, it's not worth that much. I always try to make the most of it. I have fun. I met some people. Did some networking as usual, but yeah, we're heading out. It's Saturday, day 3 at PAX. We got one more day, and I'll fill you in for tomorrow. Peace.
Great job! Great job! You got the high score! Second seed.
New high score? What's that mean? All right, another PAX in the books. So first off, I wanted to give a shout out to Jamie with Game Underground, located in Waltham, Mass. Huge shout out to them. Definitely check out their store, their website. They have a huge tournament at the end of the year called Guts. Definitely come by if you'd like to compete in Smash, Halo. It's going to be a good time. So, of course, I think PAX has gone downhill a good amount. There's no big game companies anymore. There's way less vendors, and the price is at an all-time high. That being said, of course, I still love the energy of PAX. Just to be around people who play video games and have such a passion for video games is just such a good vibe. I love going up to random people and talking about what's your favorite video game and talking about video games you love. And it's the only place where you can go up to a random person and ask them about some obscure video game, and they probably know about it and may have even played it. Walking around PAX and just socializing and checking out indie games is still always just so much fun. I do hope that they go back to the classic days of PAX where it was stacked in there, where there were giant game companies doing huge booths, big tournaments, concerts every day. It was different back then. You know, they squeezed the concerts to just one day and a 2-hour window, which I think they should do Friday and Saturday. But I think maybe they're just charging like a ton of money for these vendors and people to come out. So I'm not sure. And then that doesn't make, and maybe they're not spending so much for the concerts, which I think they could capitalize on, because it's basically a concert would be included. So that'd justify the price for the customers more, and it gets some more people in there. But regardless, I love all the cosplays, and I love just being around gamers who have such an undying passion for video games and for movies, anime. These are just the best people to be around. It's still probably the best con in the area. Anime Boston's coming up this weekend. We'll probably do a recap video for that too. Maybe ask people their favorite anime. Happy PAX to everybody. If you saw me, leave a comment, or if you're in the video, leave a comment. I'd like to reconnect with you guys next year at PAX, and we'll see you guys on the next video. Take care.